Okay, so this is part 2 of my 2016 garden planning documentary. I've done a couple furrows of corn. I haven't planted them yet. I'm waiting for the seeds. They should be here Monday. But I wanted to show you something I'm doing differently this time. I've read a lot about using cardboard boxes. And right along the fence line, I laid out a whole row of cardboard boxes. And then this is for weed suppression, and it works out pretty good because you just lay the boards down flat like I've done in the second row here, and you put your furrow right next to the edge of the boxes. And it's not a perfectly straight line. I'm not one of those guys that will shoot a string line to make sure it's perfect, but it's close enough. And it's 22 feet long. These two rows are going to be enough space for one seed packet, and they generally run between 150 and 200 seeds, so I'll probably split it 50-50 and then thin out if necessary. But the spacing's based on 3 inches. I don't think I'll need to space them out too much or thin them too much after I'm done. But you can see what I did is you lay out the cardboard, which I already did, and then you dig your furrow, which I already did, and then underneath the second row of boxes, which you can't really see, it is kind of arched down a little bit. So what you do is right next to your furrow, you scoop out 2 shovelfuls wide of about a half shovel deep right next to the furrow, and it digs you a little trench for your next section of boxes. So you can see I walked on the second row of boxes and curled them like a U, and they fall into place. And then what you do is, as you're digging the half scoops of soil, you just walk along your second furrow and throw them on top of your cardboard box, and then you come back and you do the second pass, and in 2 passes your cardboard box will be pretty much invisible. I've got a little bit of a lip next to the furrow, but I'm not too concerned about that because water is going to decay the box and it's going to eventually become worm food, and I don't really care about the visual aesthetic of seeing the edge of a box, but for the most part you can't see the box. And I'm debating on whether I should put straw on top of the dirt that's covering the boxes or not. I may do that, I may not do that. I have a straw bale, and it might make it look a little bit more attractive. And of course, when the corn grows up high, I'll be walking in those rows between the corn rows. So this year in summer, I'm going to plant 3 packets of seeds, and I'm going to have a total of 6 rows that are 22 foot long. And I have 3 varieties. They're all the kind that you can grow together. And then after they're completed, I'm going to do a pass with super sweet seeds during summer, because the super sweet seeds have to be isolated from other types of corn. So when you buy your corn seeds, make sure that if you get more than 1 variety, you get varieties that can grow together. Okay, so I'm going to stop it here and pause it and add more later after I'm finished. I found what possibly could be a large arrowhead in the yard here. It looks like it's carved. I mean, it could be a broken piece of pottery, but it sure looks like it's been carved, and it looks like it's rock to me. It had a tongue on here in the top. It appears it's broken off. Maybe I busted it with a shovel, but I found that digging my corn furrows, and I think it might be an arrowhead. Kind of cool. So there you have it. I just completed 6 furrows with cardboard laid between all the rows, except for the last one. I ran out of cardboard, so I'm going to end up using straw from a bale that I bought. And the cool thing about that is I can go ahead and plant squash and pole beans in between these last 2 rows, because the Indians referred to them as the 3 sisters, I guess. And you can grow squash, corn, and pole beans together, because the pole beans will actually run up the side of the corn. So with the straw in there, I can go ahead and put little holes in there and plant seeds without having to drill through cardboard to get into the dirt. So after I get my seeds, I'll drop them in there, and then I'll pour in some amend garden soil, which is organic. And the 3 varieties of corn that I'm going to have, I've got 200 seeds each of 3 different kinds. One's Silver Queen, and those are white ears that are about 8 to 9 inches long. They're going to go up, I'm not sure where I'm going to put them. If I want the tall ones in the front or if I want them in the back, I'm not sure. There's a slope to this piece of property here, so it might be better to put them in the back and then they'll all appear the same height. I don't know. The other one are called Sugar Buns, and they're yellow, and they're about 5 foot tall instead of 8 foot tall stalks. And then the ears are slightly smaller at 7 inches. And then I have Serendipity Triple Sweet, which is a yellow and white kernel corn. And these are 8-inch ears. And so each one of these rows is going to have like 100 seeds in it. It's going to be roughly spaced about 3 inches apart. And I'll have to put a little bit in extra, but that's okay because some of the seeds don't germinate. Although I've had good luck with corn, maybe they'll all germinate and then I'll have to thin them. But yeah, 6 rows total, and I'm ready for some good corn. And these 3 types, Silver Queen, Sugar Buns, and Serendipity Triple Sweet, do not require isolation, so I can grow these all together. And then after they're done in summer, I'm going to reuse these furrows again, probably in July, and then I'll have probably say September roughly, some more corn. And I've already got extra tender white super sweet. Now those do require isolation, so I may end up buying the same kind and just doing the whole field of it here, or I may buy some other super sweet corn that doesn't have a problem with the other one. So anyway, it was a lot of work. I used a spade, a shovel, and a lot of digging and a lot of labor. So I turned the soil previously in another video. This is roughly 300 square feet. As you can tell, out of my land, the corn is going to take up a very good chunk of it, probably half. So it's over 300 square feet for these rows of corn. But if you can imagine, every foot there's going to be 4 corn stalks that produce 1 to 2 ears, and that's 22 foot rows. So I'm potentially going to have 88 to 176 ears of corn per row. And what's cool about this is they are actually completed at different time frames. So Sugar Buns are 72 days, Serendipity is at 82 days, and Silver Queen's at 92 days. So I've got 2 10-day gaps in between these crops, which gives us some more time to eat them and share them with friends and family. So hopefully they all germinate and do well. Okay, bye.